Hi, I'm Rita Wilkins, also known as the Downsizing Designer. Today I want to talk to you about something that people ask me about all the time and that I've actually experienced for myself. And that's the benefits of living in a much smaller home. So if you've been living in your large home for quite a while, but lately you've started to say it's just too much. Too much time, too much maintenance, too much expense. Perhaps you've been talking to some of your friends who've already downsized and they're living in that smaller home and they say how much easier their lives are without the big house. And perhaps they've got you thinking, should you move to a smaller home too? For sure, the larger home served you well for many years while you were raising your children. After all, you worked hard for it, you deserved it. The big house was your dream house. But lately, you're not so sure if it's a dream house anymore. And lately, you've been asking yourself, do I really need or even want this big home? And especially at this stage of your life. So if you're wondering if you could be happier in a smaller home, one that's more manageable, one that's more affordable, one that gives you more time and freedom to pursue that simpler life that you might be looking for, the one that's less stressful. So if this sounds like you, you're not alone. Many baby boomers and even younger generations are questioning the need and the desire for that big house, that one that we've all aspired to, and here's why. So there are many benefits, but these are my top 3. Number 1, living in a smaller home, you have more life. That means that there's less to maintain, less to manage. It frees you up to do things that you've been wanting to do, but you put on your back burner because you didn't have time or the energy to do that while you still had to take care of the big house. So if you've been wondering what it would be like to have more free time to develop that new side gig that you've been thinking about, or start that painting or hobby that you've been wanting to do for a long time, just learning something new like a new instrument, a new language, or maybe you're just wondering what it would be like to have more free time to sometimes do nothing. And a smaller home gives you that opportunity. It kind of gives you time back on your schedule to pursue some of those other things. So the second benefit is having less stuff. So downsizing to a smaller home actually forces your hand to address the stuff that's been accumulating and that you've been saving for many years. Those overflowing closets, the ones filled with clothes that may not even fit you anymore, or that you rarely wear, or they might even be out of date. It forces your hand to open those boxes, those unopened boxes that have been sitting in your basement in your attic for years, so you have no idea what's even in them. And then those family heirlooms that you inherited, the ones that you've been saving for your kids, only to find out that your kids really don't want them, or they don't have space for them in their own smaller spaces. So while this journey is emotional and exhausting, the process of downsizing and decluttering is actually the journey to owning less stuff, is actually the journey to having more freedom. And the third benefit of living in a smaller home is being and having just enough. So how will you know when you have just enough? Well, this may sound like an existential question. It's not intended to be. Getting to having just enough is a journey. It's a journey well worth taking. That time, the effort, and the roller coaster emotional ride that you'll be on. But when you arrive at a point in your life where you have all you want and all you need, there's peace and freedom and a new kind of joy. So then you're no longer striving to accumulate more, prove your success, or impress others. You are simply content and satisfied because you have just enough. So our consumer culture has programmed us to believe that bigger is better. But when you acknowledge that that dream house is no longer a dream house. In fact, it might actually be becoming a nightmare when you give yourself permission to let go of that long-held belief that bigger is better. And when you start to consider that you might actually be happier owning less house and owning less stuff, you then begin to realize so much more to life is living with less and living more. So I hope this video has helped you with some food for thought about having that smaller home. If you want to learn more, go to my website, Rita Wilkins at ritawilkins.com, or you can also go to Amazon and purchase my book, Downsize Your Life, Upgrade Your Lifestyle. The whole goal of that book is to give you an idea of what it's like when you live with less so you can live more. Have a great day.